Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at timeattack.tv and the Scandinavian VODCAST, Scandinavian Time Attack, that is, VODCAST, that also very recently has been doing a lot of focus on the European Time Attack Masters, which was recently. And we've got a great show that's going to focus on what happened there, the good stuff, some really solid guests, plenty of winners, and great performance from the event from Team Scandinavia. And apart from that, we're also going to discuss some of our new rule books for next year. Mention our calendar here in Scandinavia, in Sweden at least. And then finally, we have a call it final event of the season where we all meet. There's an award ceremony. We're going to drive some go-karting. We're going to present even more news for next season in Scandinavian Time Attack, and everyone's welcome. It doesn't matter if you are a driver or just a fan or follower, you're going to be welcome as long as there are slots allocated. So like I said, tonight, when I have one of these babies, you know it's going to be good. So we have several really good guests. First, I'd like to introduce my producer and right hand, the real brains of this all. I'm just the mouth and sometimes the heart. So please, David, introduce yourself a bit.
Hello, I'm David. I'm running this whole thing, and yeah, it's fun, but it has its challenges sometimes, as we saw on European Time Attack.
Oh, we're going to talk about that, baby. We'll see if we'll get... we have one of the main characters of German Time Attack who are the founders and organizers of European Time Attack. Talk a little bit about that, but also the good stuff that was done there. Fantastic atmosphere. Let's show the banner. Let's show the banner and let's give some shout outs to some guests. How does the banner look tonight, David? We have Tesla Club Finland saying good evening from Finland. I can't hear you. That's unfortunate. Try reloading. Racing Band says hi. That sounds German, maybe. Hope we have some German listeners as well. We were so happy that I personally got to meet many of you during the Tuning Boulevard and the Tuning Masters stand, and also at the day before during the NLS race. It was so nice to meet you all, and to also at the driver's brief actually introduce what we're doing here to promote this time attack scene at timeattack.tv. It's not just Scandinavian Time Attack here anymore, which feels great. Testa Club Sweden, now I can hear you. Let's go. Good. Stefan says god kväll. That means good evening. Mia Karlsson says good evening as well in Swedish. So we have Bernd, you're from Germany. That's good. Guten Abend. My German is very limited, although I love opera in German. I speak very little of it myself. Tonight is going to be mostly about European Time Attack. We're going to talk a bit about the broadcast we had there, the tech issues. We're going to say we're sorry about some of them and what we learned. And yeah, it's always unfortunate, especially, yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, the product, we all die a little bit on the inside when it doesn't work. So it sucks. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. But yeah, that was unfortunate, especially with so many people helping out. So we'll see if we get Madeline in here, but we'll definitely meet Florian. I think I would say the David of German Time Attack and European Time Attack, the right hand of Marco Tillman, the owner. And we'll discuss a bit of the future on the European Time Attack level. And then we'll have our fabulous guests. We'll have the most, perhaps, hardcore and the fastest running car on this event. The Revline Racing car owner, builder, mastermind, Gustav Burström, Mr. Revline himself. And then we'll have their pro driver, Alex Danielsson, who was able to catch the European gold in the extreme class. We'll also have André Krutrök, who was third in club 4-wheel drive. Was also the longest. He's always the long distance runner. Come on, guys. Soon there's going to have to be someone who signs up from like the North Pole or something, because this guy is constantly going way across long distances to be able to join us. He'll be there. We'll also see what mood an upcoming superstar with a build that has had a lot of hype around it, that has had its first official season in Karel Silla. He became the Superlights champ. He runs his Silhouette BMW M4. And he's anxious to tell about his experience, but also a bit about it's a classic debate. We'll see how that goes. This whole Silhouette versus elite level time attack builds. What's the real difference? Is there a difference? Is it important? Isn't it important? Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Also, the first ever EV champion in Europe, Pertti Peski, is going to be here with us. We're also going to announce that we are expanding the EV time attack electric, as we call it here in Scandinavia. It's going to be 2 classes next year. So without further ado, I think we need to move on here, David.
You forgot about something in the rules. We have another new class coming.
Oh, I didn't actually talk about that. I was focusing on the European stuff. Then we're going to go on to the rules and the silly season for Scandinavian time attack. We'll see if I switch over to even Swedish there. I don't know. We'll improvise. But first part of the show is going to be European time attack focused. What do you think? Should we bring in Florian? I think, as I called him, the David of German and European time attack, our first guest. I don't see Madeline in the show. There we have him, Florian Scherle.
Hello.
Scherle?
Yes, Scherle.
Yeah. So Florian, describe your role. You've been here for a few appearances, but you've been involved a long time on the scene, which many of the German time attack crew have been actually, which is a really nice thing.
Yeah, I'm involved in time attack, in German time attack masters for over 10 years now, and I'm a scrutineer. I'm one of the organizers. I mean, the owner is Marco, but I'm one of the organizers. I keep strong contact to especially the international teams for the European time attack masters, and try to gather them all together so they come to the Nürburgring to compete against each other, and also to compete against their own time from last year or from last season to beat it.
Yeah, that's the main purpose, I think, and I never get sick of talking about this, that time attack, it's like those video games. I mean, it's nice to beat the competition, but you also want to beat that, ghost car that has ran faster than you. You always want to improve. You want to improve yourself and the car. I think that's one of the phenomenal things about time attack.
Yeah. So you always can do this if you're not fighting for, or you fight for some position that you want to be under the top 5, that you want to go into the Super Lab final and so on, or you just because you think you learned a lot during your virtual reality driving sessions, that you think you can beat your own lap time from previous year by a second or whatever. So that's always good. And you can compare yourself from last season or last race to this race, what you change on your car. So there's a lot of details which you can adjust to make yourself faster.
Yeah, and that's not even mentioning that there are different classes, and we always work on that to have it like we call it a staircase, that you start at the Club Go or Pocket Rocket class, or even as you have now the SPS Challenge class, which I actually, shout out to Lenny and SPS. You guys it was so nice to get a ride, first of all, but also to just talk to you guys. I really love the work you have also with German Time Attack done with the MX5 challenge classes, which literally means that you have so many MX5s that want to compete also against each other. So you actually created subclasses, 3 of them, and there's over 20 cars. This is such a nice success recipe. We actually talked about that today in our planning meeting, me and David, that it's nice, and it allows people to relax a bit, and we're going to talk about it all the way up to this whole extreme versus super lights and all that stuff, and just go for your best lap time with whatever car you will. I think that's a very healthy attitude. What did you say?
Yep, that's what I think as well. I think you shouldn't be taking the crowbar to, to try to crack a certain lap time. You should relax. That's the best of all, and then you try to focus on what you can maybe do better, and maybe adjust on your car or modify on your car to be next time even faster.
Florian, we are going to take accountability for all the different tech issues. I feel like we had a nightmare of everything from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth to the normal 5G net to other technology just constantly failing us. So, yeah, I want to say I'm really sorry about that, and that we learned a ton. But I hope that you felt that it was nice to at least have some sort of broadcast from the event on location, even though it's not at the World Time Attack feed. It's like super impressive, but also for any driver actually quite expensive to have.
Yeah, we tried our best, and that's also like the same ideology with Time Attack. Next time we do better, just simply.
That's a very, very clear and efficient German answer. Thank you for that. So speaking of that, like, we were really hoping to share some of the atmosphere. How was it down in the pit area? You were running around there. You were using your damn scooter. You were cheating, so you weren't running. So how was it down there? Do you feel it was the best European Time Attack yet?
Yeah, it was definitely the best. We had like great weather. The track was super awesome. The entire thing with the previous day, the Saturday, we had in the Ring Boulevard like an own exhibition stand, or an entire hallway.
Oh yeah, the tuning master stand, that was beautiful too.
So, and we had for the Saturday, we had the 5 cars, I believe, displayed there, which was super cool. We had so many interested people in that, and that was during the NLS race. So we had a lot of people who are not really involved in Time Attack or have no idea what Time Attack is, and they could see some awesome Time Attack cars, which is really cool. And they also could talk to the owners or to the drivers or mechanics or engineers. So that's super cool. I'm very sure we will do that again.
Yeah, you have. I think I've said this before. It's always a very, very like ridiculously open atmosphere at there, and I think actually I saw that NLS even have a very similar mentality. So I was very, very positively surprised, because racing in Sweden is quite closed off, and the teams are like almost pushing out spectators. Nobody's around at the grid. That was nice to see even at NLS. But yeah, here in Time Attack, it's like open source. It doesn't matter if you're a driver or not. You get pretty much full access, which is fun for a fan experience, right?
Yeah, totally. So at Time Attack, at all our events, the pit lane is fully open. You can go completely there. The only thing is you are not allowed to bring any like animals or like super little children, so that because they don't know about the danger of the cars. And we make also the drivers aware that there are people there. And so you can actually see right firsthand, you can see into the pit garages, how they modify the cars, how they get the tires warm or the engine warm, and so on, how they prepare their cars. And you can be there just when the Super Lap final starts as well, just next to the cars, and be on the main straight and see cars are passing by with 250k plus.
Yeah, that is quite an experience to be there and feel the tension that the drivers are feeling, and to see it at the flyby and passing the. I think I have some sound issues. Is someone not muted? David, can you just check that? And to feel that atmosphere when everyone passes the finish line and you get the lap time on your mobile phone or whatever, and yeah, you just see that someone just broke a lap record or won their class.
Yeah, that was super cool this time, and we had like more participants, we had more visitors, spectators, we had more nationalities involved, but still there is some space above empty, which we want to close and have even more people and have all the classes full and even more people to watch that kind of spectator.
Well, let me put you a bit on the spot. We have a comment here because there was a good reason for it, but the question is still valid. Can you just put up Racing Bench question? But please don't change the track layout from year to year. All the records from last year's are not compared at all. So this was a special exception. Can you just explain why we didn't use the first set of corners?
Yes, banned racing means that we didn't use the Mercedes Arena. Yeah, that has a good. I mean, we definitely don't want to change the track layout. We know about this because then the previous records are not comparable. But we had good reasons for this because we had at the same time on that race day there was also the final of the AVD Drift Championship, and they need their area where they can do their competition. And we had just two options. Either we have the same track from last time, including the Mercedes Arena, and then when we are done with our races or halfway, we have to stop and then build up the area for the drifters. Then they drift and we cannot race, and vice versa. So we decided that we will exclude from now on the Mercedes Arena, and this will be the track layout right now for hopefully the rest of the future.
Are there any pros with this? I mean, getting drifting in there means you get a huge audience and also more for the fans to see from. So, are there any pros to doing this? I mean, it's a shame to cut the corner, but is there anything good coming with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to understand that with a track like Nürburgring, you have like quite high costs to rent the track, and somehow that needs to be split up. And of course, if there are more people who are coming and more participants in racing, and you have another drift series there or a drift series there, then you can share the cost, which makes it more financiable, liable to do. And also the spectators, the visitors have so much to see. They have even one more competition. You can see drifting, the drift event, the drift trainings. You can do drift taxi, and then you go 400 meters over to the pit boxes and to the pit lane and see suddenly time attack at the same time. So, or you at a certain point in a certain location, and you can actually watch both both competitions.
Yeah, I agree. And again, the fans are the ones who decide ultimately. So I do know that maybe some pure time attack fans might feel that, okay, it would be nice to have that corner. But for the general motorsport fan and the way that this sport's going to grow, I think it's a quite, I think, logical decision to combine it like this. And also to have you have a really nice car show there and you have all the other activities. So yeah, well done. So Florian, future. What does the future hold for European Time Attack Masters?
Yeah, the future is that we really are working hard to collaborate with NLS and to get even more days where we can have extra training. So maybe the Saturday or even the Friday before we would have training sessions. We're working on this, and that would mean that the teams have more track time and can prepare more and train more on that certain track. And have over time they have even time to change some of their adjustment on their cars, or if something breaks during the first training sessions for the Sunday to be ready again. So yeah, that is our goal for the future, to have this.
So we have this classic thing about, I mean, for me at least, people going on track days and practicing, which is a great thing, talking lap times, talking shit or whatever on the internet, it's great. But I would hope so that people also want to like bring it somewhere. Like you've built this event, you're at the Nürburgring GP. How can you, if you're a time attack addict, not be interested in facing off with the best in this one location? So are you working more with getting people interested in coming? How does it look like in the rest of Europe? Has the interest been growing?
Yeah, we have definitely other drivers from other nations which never have been to Germany or to the European Time Attack Masters to participate and to compete, and they are contacting me, or I contact them, and we have people from the UK, Italy, Cyprus, Greece, Portugal, like all over, like Baltic area and so on. It's like there's a massive interest in the race and that event, and I'm very confident that we have next year we have even more crazy cars, more extreme cars, super lights, pro cars, and I mean, and also we have the old cars which are getting modified over the winter, and next year they're even like a half second faster again. So it will be very cool next year. I'm very confident that it will be even greater.
Yeah, this is the esoteric and very existential philosophical way of how trends grow slowly and then suddenly they explode. And I'm just hoping that anyone out there who loves Time Attack sees the work you're doing and the way we improve every year also, and that they want to take the trip next year and to challenge, because yeah, in all the classes was quite the battle, and we're soon gonna meet some of those people, and hopefully people will want to come to beat those guys and get all the glory, right?
Yeah. Also, there are like a lot of people who are like comparing their lap times during whenever they did them, and we would like to have them showing in front of a few thousand visitors and with 150 other cars which are on that event, that they can also put this lap time down and be able to say, here, I'm the fastest pro car, or I'm the fastest extreme car, or super lights, or the fastest of all.
Yeah, because it's a massive difference between first of all the keyboard, and then of course on a practice, and then of course to doing all that on a super lap.
Yeah, you will be nervous. There's a lot of pressure. You maybe changed something on your car and you want to find out if it works, and or you change something because you must deliver that certain lap time, and that puts even more pressure on. And some people can work with that kind of pressure and they deliver in the super lap final, and some are screwing up because they maybe wanted too much, or they I don't know. Um, yeah, there are many reasons why something can go right or can go massively wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also like, not meaning to sound like a macho expression, but that's like what separates the real ones from the fake ones, that you're willing to do this and go through that discomfort and actually put it all on the line in real life in competition. I think that's the adrenaline hopefully people are looking for, I'd say. Final question, Florian, we have from Fritte. It's a question. He is involved in the Scandinavian Time Attack. So the question is, will the European Time Attack Masters ever come to Sweden? That's a no, because it's on Nürburgring. It's the best track in the world. But then maybe have a race with Swedish Time Attack at Mantorp Park. Is there a, let's say, long distance future chance of a European championship based on several events, you think?
Yeah, I mean, in the future, yes, why not? I mean, wouldn't that be awesome if you would have like, let's say, 5 races all over Europe, and they visit the certain time attack race series in Sweden or UK, Italy, or Baltic area or so, and then have one big final at Nürburgring? I mean, that would be really cool. Are we right now there? Yeah, I'm not sure, but why not dream about it and think about it? Because sometimes an opportunity comes faster than you think about.
Yeah, and everything starts with a community getting mobilized. We see it every year since we came down to you guys, and you were like staying busy in our inboxes saying we need to come down. Finally, we did, and look where we are now. And hopefully, it will only grow from here. So, thanks a lot, Florian. I just wanted to give not literally, but metaphorically, the flowers for Madeline also to be the reporter there, and she had to really struggle with the technology. And she did some really nice interviews, which unfortunately were never recorded with audio, so just double strikeout. But thanks a lot, and thanks to all you guys who really supported us down there. We felt so at home. So we'll keep in touch. I mean, next year we have the dates ready, right?
Yes, 10th and 11th of October at the Nürburgring again.
Nice. And it looks very likely that we're going to get some testing time also the day before the event.
As I said, we're working really hard on it, and I cannot promise anything. So, but we let you know if we have like a result.
Okay, it's a 50% promise, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's going to hold up in court that you said it on the VODCAST, okay, Bruce?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Take care, Florian. Have a nice evening.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night. Bye.
So let's move right on to the, I think this is, usually you have like main eventers, you have them last, but let's get this out of the way here. We have the European champion, owner and builder, and the pro driver in the extreme class as guests. So without further ado, please welcome to Gustav Hummel Burström and Alex Danielsson of Revline Racing.
Thank you, Mikael. Good to be here.
Just embrace the digital applause, you know.
Yeah, they're the best.
Let
hey,
it
guys.
sink in.
No
hey, guys.
booze.
So you obviously have a very self-explaining background, and we've seen that car for a long time now, bro. You've been involved in the scene since like early 20. I think you made your debut at 2013 in Swedish Time Attack.
Yeah.
And then you decided to bring over some crazy Australian guy who lives in Japan and works full-time doing not just styling body kits.
American guy.
Oh, it's American.
Japanese, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. Gustav, please give us some of your background for those that already don't know, and how where your full circle started to where you are now.
Oh yeah, that could be several hours, but
yeah, that's enough. The podcast. So you're gonna be like ask ChatGPT to like give you the short version.
No, but yeah. So basically, this car has been a big part of my life the last I think 13 years, and for a long period of time, this car was actually the number one, the most, the number one thing in my life, basically. So everything circled around building this car. I think everything, social life, businesses, jobs, etc. Everything was just came in second to this car build, I've spent so many thousand hours building this car in so many different versions, and it's been very rewarding, and it's been very challenging as well. And I think, up to the point, one of the biggest things is that, of course, we went to World Time Attack in 2019, and with Alex on Mantorp, on the King of Mantorp that year, we set a new lap record for production-based cars. Came in contact with Ian. We met him the year before when we went over to VTAC without the car, and he wanted to bring the car over, and we only had a short period of time to build a new engine, fix a container, all the spares, put together a bigger team for a bigger event, etc. So we went there and managed to Alex and the team and the car managed to put in a very good lap time that stood for it was the best time of all European and American entries until 2023, when they allowed full slicks in the racing class. So we were very proud of that. And at that point I was like, is it time to sell the car now, or should I do a version 4.0 or 5.0, and decided to build the next version of the car. So although it kind of looks the same now as it did in 2019, everything underneath it is basically changed from the World Time Attack spec. And it's been a really challenging couple of years when we had lots of issues with the engine and specifically an engine block. The car itself has been very reliable, but we've had continuous issues with this engine. And I think this summer at King of Mantorp we had a big fire, and after that I actually became more motivated than I have been in a long time, because I felt that it's been too many seasons now where this engine is causing too much issues and holding us back. So I really wanted to fix that, fix the car up again, and come back stronger. So,
and this is like, to put a timeline on it. You were struggling with the, I would say, can I say it, or are you gonna get angry that I say that the billet block setup of your Honda engine, you kind of never got it to gel, and then you had the fire, and now we're in late June this year, right? And that's where something clicked with you, right?
Yeah, went to holiday with my family, laid by the pool in Spain, had too much time to, discuss ideas with myself and my digital notebook. And then I put some plans in motions and did a new couple of upgrades on the car, built a new engine, and got really determined to turn things around and really to show the potential. Went to the last time attack race at Gelleråsen in August to shake down the new engine. I hadn't been driving the car for a long time, but managed to win the Pro Mod class. Then we went to Gatubil, which was the only time we could find to get the balance to drive the car at Mantorp. Did a new personal best for the car, a 1:11.9, which is really good for that super dirty drift track. Was the fastest non-tubed car ever at Gatubil Mantorp.
All right.
And then put everything together again and did even when the car is working, so much stuff that you want to do and always details, and all of a sudden we have been working several weeks on just tweaking stuff. And and then we went to Germany and had a fantastic race day.
Yeah, obviously. So to pause you there a bit and on timeline, we have someone sitting there silently smiling. So we need to have a short introduction for you, dear gentleman there, Mr. Alex Danielson.
Hello. Yes. Okay, so I'm most of the time the driver for this amazing machine. And I think it doesn't really come through when Gustav tells the story how insanely dedicated you have to be to keep rising every time. I mean, in actual fact, the engine problem has held us back for since it was debuted. What was that, 2021 or something like that?
Yeah.
So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's 5 years of the engine breaking every time we drive it. Every day. We never left the track with a running car, ever, in 5 years. And we never did a complete lap in 5 years.
It doesn't seem like
And
quite the fun kind of driver assignment to have.
I just, my heart was bleeding the whole time, at least the last 4 years, because Gustav particularly, and also Edwin and anyone else involved, but Gustav mainly, has put so much effort into this that you can't really justify how much effort he put into it. So then we went to King of Mantorp this year, and it's like every time something breaks, he finds, is troubleshooting, right? So you change this, you change that. An Indian has like 50 things that can go wrong. And so working through it all. And after King of Mantorp and the fire that happened there, he was like, okay, we've done everything now. It's just the block. It can't be the block, but that's the only thing left. So then he went away, changed the block, went on holiday, went to Gelleråsen to try it, because every time we go to a rolling road or a dyno, which is every time after rebuild, it looks fine. But then you get to the track and it doesn't work. So he goes to Gelleråsen, He runs the car. I couldn't be there because I was with my daughter off somewhere else. And he had a good day. And we talk. He says, "Oh, it feels like it's working now." Well, we heard that before, but at least he did some laps. So it's like, let's go to Mantorp and try it. And it's like, when can we try it? There are no more days left. And we managed to figure out that, hey, Go-Kart is actually a Mantorp. They have some running. It wasn't like we didn't go there to compete, really. It was just, there was a competition. So it's like, okay, let's do those sessions so we can get some laps in. And we started pushing the car a little bit. And all of a sudden, we're doing like, Gustav, 17K more on the end of the straight than we've ever done.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Like
something ridiculous.
Yeah, we never had anything above 250 with this aero kit. So everything was working.
The car was running fine. It was running fine. Okay, the head gaskets failed on us a little bit on the fast lap. So you go to that onboard, you can hear the misfires at the end, but that had another explanation. So Gustav was like, well, now that Mantorp worked, kind of want to go back to Germany. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Bring the fire extinguisher.
That's a really good place to pause you a bit. So now we're like in Germany now in the story. Yeah. This whole Revline, let's call it character arc. Yeah, saga. Saga conclusion, perhaps, because there is a revelation coming. You're now at Germany, and you are actually, for being former world champions, and you for many years had the quickest lap time of any European team, or any foreign team for that matter, right? On World Time Attack.
You don't think we're world champions, but we finished 4th.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Pro class.
That's right. But you were there, and you were like the unspoken of like giants of Scandinavian time attack scene, at least. And this was before the European time attack scene developed. But now you're actually the underdogs there. So which guys did you... How did you manage to become underdogs?
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, in our type of class, I think, I mean, as you say, it has had success in the past. So I think we have been maybe the favorites for a long time. But, I mean, the Finnish team have been evolving a lot. And also, I mean, of course, they are spending a lot of time and a lot of development on that car and a lot of running. And I mean, Sami is, I don't know how many laps he's driven that car, but it's almost more than I've driven my Land Rover, daily driver.
Without the turbo failing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
David, can we get some R8 101? Because we're talking about the Finnish powerhouse and the current world champ. They were the current world champions. They actually took the title, and they also took the quickest lap time on slicks now. And yeah, definitely took the crown as the most successful at the moment team in Europe, the Audi R8 101. So you're going like this for this European Time Attack Master, which is like every fan's delight. This is how it's supposed to be, right?
Wait, I wouldn't say it was even like that. We went down hoping to be able to put up some laps. And they went down with the proven concept and like continuous development, because we sort of got stuck on the engine.
Are you bullshitting me now? Are you bullshitting me now?
No.
You didn't think you could go down and actually beat them?
I did not think that. No. I was gonna try. Gustav was gonna try, and he did add a few more horses to the engine in between Göteborg and Nürburgring.
I mean, so I heard rumors about a magical button on the steering wheel that is named after our king. And if you have a button like that, you're sure as hell going for a win, bro. I'm sorry to call you out like this.
No. Hey, it's good vodcasting, right? But the fact is, we were outgunned, and I do have some track knowledge from Nürburgring GP from many years ago. I know the track. I know where to push on this track, and there's always the hope. Just like what Sami and the guys said, he's a sausage salesman only, from Finland. So, and I'm the pro driver.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. This is what they said. So I think it means that professional amateurs, right?
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Well, let me just, for the vodcasting sake here, good vodcasting, push you a bit there, because Alex, you've had a Formula One super license once in your life, right?
Yeah, it was a different kind then, but yes.
You're
yes,
more or less, we don't even get into your data here, but I'm just going to do my job here as a good vodcaster. You have quite a bit of experience, and that's why people are, and this is just in the whole meta food for thought conversation kind of arena. You're a full-blooded pro, and that's where I think that the R8 felt that in that sense they are underdogs. So you think that's balanced, or what do you feel that we should have, that it should be the norm? I'm just asking for opinions, that we should have pro drivers for the most extreme cars. Other than that, yeah, the spirit of time attack is perhaps that it's the car builder or whatever that drives. What do you think?
I think just like in Australia, and you can see on this picture in the windscreen, there's a sticker above it, but it says 16PA and 6P. So it's Pro Am and Pro. So when we went to Australia, let's not forget, we both drove the car, both me and Gustav, in two different classes. The Pro Am for Gustav and the Pro for me. And so time attack isn't really about if you're pro or not. The cool thing is that there's both, right? So you can have the R8 with Sami, who hasn't had like the pro Formula class background, but he has a hell of a car. And we have Gustav, who's also have a hell of a car and drives the car himself, but also I drive the car. And we end up with this fight that you're describing. Because you could argue that every session we were on track, we were P1 during that day. But there was an escalation. And fact is, our qualifying lap was slower than the super lap that the R8 had. So nothing was for sure. We had to push like hell, both of us. And then you get this competition when you move the bar. Because if the R8 hadn't been there, we would have gone slower for sure. And same, if we hadn't been there, they would have gone slower for sure. Because they had it easy before. Because they were like international world time attack winners coming to the European event. And there was no real challenge. Well, now you had the two cars, and this is the best thing for me about time attack. So you push each other. And we're sharing the garage. So it's not like there's no secrets. Even at the end, I mean, somewhat disappointingly, if you want drama, Gustav and Sami share the data because they have the same logger in their cars. So where did you go faster? Where did we go faster?
So let's not spoil. I think that 99% of the viewers know the outcome, but let's keep the storytelling going, because we have prepared the clip where we're in the timeline where you've told us that you're always chasing each other during the day in Germany now, among all these fans and all these fully loaded lineup of drivers, and you're coming down to the super lap, the one and only, like, no excuses, no slipping clutch, bro. This is where it's all gonna go down right now. So you feel that we should let the lap speak, or you want to lead us through it before?
I mean, let's preference one thing at least. Before the super lap segment of the day started, there was a car that blew his engine into a heavy braking zone that's downhill, and you're doing probably 230 or something, going downhill and very hard braking. And it was right on the line. So that's all we knew. There was a car also off, the same car, of course, spun off. So we go out on the super lap. We don't know.
You can't spoil the super
like.
lap. You can't spoil the super
I'm not
lap.
I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying this is the thing. If you want to add a bit more pressure, it's already like a lot of pressure. Add the fact that now there's oil, completely a lot of oil in one place, and there's gravel because people are cutting. So this is how we go out on the track. I go out first because European time attack didn't get the memo about the excitement of the reverse top 5. And
No,
Sami
no,
goes out right
that
behind me.
is,
So
I support this lobbying. By the way, that I do feel that the
yeah.
P1 qualifier should be last, but that's like, I mean, what do the viewers think? What do the viewers think? Should the top qualifier be first or last?
But yeah, to your point, Alex, so a lot of pressure, and I can also add that, I mean, first of all, the whole day was fantastic for us as a team. Everything was working really well. The car was working great. Alex was driving great, of course. I mean, we as a team was working great. So we could really focus on more the strategy, and it's more strategy that goes into these things than perhaps people imagine. And also for us, because we haven't been running this engine in a working state many times, so we don't really know where the limit is. So we don't really know how much can we push and expect it to last for like 2 laps or more, or 1 lap. So the thing is a lot of guessing, because we don't want to leave potential lap time on the table. And we only had 1 set of new tires, so put them on for the super lap. That didn't really get up to the right temp in the tire warmers. We had to guess with the tire pressures, like, okay, how much will the temperature increase on the out lap? What would that do to the tire pressure? Also, when we were racing the boost every session, to be safe, we didn't go out in the first session with max boost. So then, for me, tuning the car for every session as well is about, okay, how much power do we think it can take on new tires in second gear? So adjusting the boost levels, adjusting, everything. So it was a balancing act. And that also added to a lot of pressure since it was a super lap, because otherwise Alex could have done like a banker lap and then turned up the boost all the way and do like 1 last go for glory lap, and if it holds, it holds. But we couldn't do that with a super lap. So everything was very tricky, I would say. Very tricky.
But, well, let's go through some comments, and then we're going to show you the video of how this epic battle played out. First of all, we have Dominic Lucas with us. Can we get some comments up on screen, David? We have Dominic Lucas. Hello from Germany. I'd say that's a right rock and roll sign, right? We have Helmut Eder. Hi, all. I think, Helmut, you are one of André Krutröck's partners, so appreciate the support you have for our Scandinavian drivers. Question from Fritte N. Are Revline planning to go back to World Time Attack again and win the title?
Not planning to, but I'm not planning it. It's more like...
Is the car... let me ask the question. Would the car be happy to go back to World Time Attack and win the title?
Perhaps as it is, would not be able to win the pro class, not unless, a competitor for a failure. We have upgrade plans, and I already have, simulations, etc., that could make a potential winner of the car. But right now, I'm at a bit of a crossroads. I can sell the car. I can continue to develop it.
Yeah,
so,
let's hold that thought for a while. We also have Mumba, Evo Supra. Nice to see you again, bro. How much more is there to find in the chassis suspension? And Gustav, you have to give the brief answer to that.
Yeah, it's of course we can find not seconds, but we can find lap time for sure. I mean, the most of the things is some simulations, some guesses. After our King of Mantorp fire, I mean, the little driving that Alex do, Alex gave some input on how it felt. I've changed a little bit on the suspension side and spring rates, etc. from that. But now with the car is working as it should. If we would go back on a full day, just test run a little bit lower boost, test different types of suspension settings, I'm sure we can find a couple of tenths at least.
What brand do you run so you can plug it a bit?
Öhlins.
You're a Swedish guy.
Öhlins dampers. The sway bars are custom built by us. And then Yokohama tires.
Cool. Some final comments?
Can I comment?
Yes.
Can I do a comment?
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding time to find in the chassis, not much. We're getting to a point where the aero is so good that you sort of run out of suspension it wouldn't do much to change the suspension. It's such a clever design on the arrow that the transition from mechanical to aero grip is seamless. It doesn't shift balance, and also when the car is bouncing, it doesn't all of a sudden lose downforce like many designs would. This one is super sweet like that. That helps a lot as a driver, especially building confidence when we did a total of 7 fast laps during the whole day. That's it. And apart from that, sorry, my daughter. Oh, come on, apart from that,
yeah, okay.
I lost my chain of thought.
Yeah,
not much. No.
It feels
Sorry.
like you would have other areas to prioritize to gain.
Oh
lap
yeah.
times.
Sorry. Apart from that, sorry. Steering. We have been fighting this problem since 2019. We have clipping in the servo, in the power steering, and it's more when you're off throttle and high downforce. Unfortunately, there's a few corners like that at the Nürburgring, so that was something. That is something where we can gain time, actually. And if you really look hard, you can see when the power steering completely cuts out in the Senna S on the entry, and it's well over 200. I have no power steering at all the way into the corner. I'm like, because you can see the steering is normally like this when you drive, and then it goes.
Yeah, your arms are static like that. Then
Yeah,
you know you're just trying to hold the line, basically.
It's scary as hell. It's down to 180 minimum, and I'm pretty sure because the delayed turning, I had to stay off the throttle a bit longer. But at the same time, when you go back on the throttle, the power steering usually comes back. So it's a dilemma. Do I risk really crashing really fast, or do I just try and slow down and make the corner? But also it's a super lap, so you have to get on the power, right? So I did, and it sort of worked out, but I lost some minimum speed. Okay, enough preferencing.
I think we should roll the lap and to see what it all came down to after years in the making. The Audi R8 101 versus Revline Racing's 968 project. Let's see the Super Lap final in a head-to-head format. This is content by the Audi R8 team. Visit their channel to see more and to see it in like proper resolution with all the data as well. So yeah, let's enjoy this one, boys. Well. I guess we have a winner here. 1.6 seconds was the difference, right? So looking at that lap, what can you tell? try and get it interesting for even casual fans, what really seems to make the difference here?
Okay, first thing is we put new tires on the car, and new tires is always great, but it's even better when you have a aero card that produces a lot of downforce, because you can go a little bit faster on the mechanical grip, then you get a bit more downforce, and then you can go a bit faster, then you get more downforce. So it's like a really good spiral. So you gain a lot in medium and fast corners, and slow corners you get traction, which is always an issue. We don't have traction control on the car. It would help if it was really good traction control, but because of previous engine issues, this has not been handled. So new tires helps you control the wheel spin also. And going on to the lap, I knew that if we can do 2 laps, like a out lap, attack, cool down the car, and then attack again, we have more grip. So the whole idea here was we really have to get a perfect out lap, a build lap, to get the tires conditioned to go hard. Okay, so here I know I don't have the full grip quite yet, so I could have braked maybe 3 or 5 meters later, but no big deal. If you look at the graph for the throttle, you see I'm feathering the throttle, I'm going first, second, and right at the exit I can go full throttle. This S is where I start to gain a lot on the R8, going into this, and especially exiting this corner where I can get on the throttle really early. So we have like 180k on the exits. This is the oil corner, so I have to brake full on the inside. And what I did on my prep lap is I was preparing a lot the tires, except for this corner. I went flat out down the hill just to try the brakes. Here is the where the steering wheel stops turning. So that's sketchy, but still we had like 180 minimum. We're up to like 245 for this braking. And then
here comes this moment. Yeah, this moment.
Yes. So is he going to move? Is he not going to move? I lose some aero going into the corner, so I actually have a slide. And in the corner before, I'm thinking about, okay, how am I catching this guy? Because he actually blocked me on the qualifying lap too. So I'm already not super happy with this guy. And the same guy appears out of nowhere, which shouldn't be possible. But
yeah, there was a sort of mishap that wasn't supposed to happen, where cars started to lap each other.
Here, because coming down here is the second longest straight on the track. So I mean, we come up until the last corner to 60 something. So even a delayed, if you delay full throttle going down here, you miss a lot on this really long straight. So I mean, I'm super happy that we won by a great margin, but if we had lost with like 1/10, I would be furious, because
yes,
this is costing us a few
Would you curse in Italian then, perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay, but I should say also, this is a bad moment here, of course, because we're losing time right now. But also, it made me like.
Can we continue the video and see if we get the use of the magic button?
We do, out of the last corner, we do. And I wouldn't have done that if not for this guy. And also, I completely nailed the braking and the chicane here. This was by far the fastest I've gone through there. I had 140 something minimum, which was amazing. And then
now here comes the
button. Look at the left thumb. Yeah,
left
there you
thumb.
Go. Yeah, and you can see the manifold pressure goes up. So now it's like 318 instead of 300. Danger to manifold, right? So
yeah, you got some celebration. You cut away from the celebration. That's really stupid.
Yeah,
that's Gustav.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gustav. Well, guys, I have to move on in the show, but we have a little bit of an announcement. Like I said, this is a bit of a full circle moment. And Gustav, to just give you a bit of an intro, you've been very busy in your life, not just raising a family, but you've also started a new, very time-consuming project where you are trying to change another type of industry a bit. You care to give us like the small facts of that and what you are decided to do?
Short about that. I mean, me and Edwin, my trusted colleague that has been helping out on all the races since 2005 15 basically, and helping me building the car. We have our own company. We're working full time with. We're developing an electric UTV, it's like utility terrain vehicle, and also working a lot on that, both for civilian and towards the defense industry. And that is, of course, takes up a huge amount of time running a startup. So I don't really have the time to continue developing the car as I want. So I decided to put it up for sale. And
so you're doing the classic win on Sunday, sell on Monday, right?
Exactly. I mean, those thoughts, I mean, have been lingering for quite some time, but putting my life into this car the past 10, 15 years, I would never want to sell it without it, really showing what it can do, because it's too much of my soul that has gone into this project. So I think now is a really good time to see if someone else wants to take it over. Just use it as it is. It's turnkey, enter VTAC tomorrow and go there next year and compete for podium or continue the development. But I think it's a good time to pass it on. But it will mixed emotions, because I have a lot of stuff that I want to develop with the car. So if it doesn't sell, I mean, I'm not going to give it away. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to continue doing some improvements to it, and we're probably going to do a race or two next year. But we'll see. It's going to come up for sale later this week.
Yeah, it seems like winning the European Championship and beating the all-out baddest car on the planet before that is a quite good sales pitch, I'd say. So you don't have like a rush to sell it, I suppose.
No.
Well, nice to hear from you guys, and we'll probably see each other again. And where can we find more info if you want to, just ask our wife kindly if we can buy a time attack car?
Just follow the Revline Time Attack social media, and the links will come up there.
Excellent. Well, congratulations again, guys, and it's been a pleasure. And we will see each other again.
For sure.
Thank you.
So that was quite intense, and that lap, I mean, that's you can go to Revline's channel to see their lap, but also the beautiful battle that R8 team did put together. Go visit their channel as well. So we're gonna slow down a little bit. We're gonna talk a bit with someone very down to earth, actually. He finished third in Club 4-wheel drive. He has been the champion in the Swedish Challenge class, which is like I would say middleweight class. So it's like track day plus. Really, really developed track day cars, but you're not going into supercars yet. You're not going into extreme cars. It's a very competitive class, and historically, the only one who has defended his title here. So please welcome to the VODCAST, André Krutrök. Hello. We can clearly see your unique wrap in the background. So you have your Yaris GR, which has been very successful here in Sweden. And you decided to go down to Germany, which is not around the next corner from way up north in Piteå, right?
It's a really, really long trip. But I'm used to going long trips, so that's no big problem. 4,730 kilometers, I think.
Both Wait, can you say that number slowly? How many kilometers back and forth?
4,730.
4,000. That takes a long time. Did it take like 4 days of travel or
something like that?
Yeah,
but it's worth it, I think.
You answered my question. So tell us, why is it worth it? Did you enjoy yourself down there? And what is your, like, if you had like a top 3 of the memories you bring with you there, apart from the third place in a very, very competitive class? We'll talk about the competition in a while, but just what are the 3 things that you just, hopefully I can see you smiling, going to bed, that you think about on this trip?
Yeah, absolutely. The track is amazing. And the atmosphere, it's hard to describe, but it's you feel at home, I think, and the people, all the people around, and that's why I'm going to go more times for sure.
Yeah, so you definitely felt the whole. They say that Nürburgring, and not just the Nordschleife, but the whole area and setting, it's like the mecca of motorsports. Did you get that religious experience?
I, yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
So apart from just the atmosphere, what are the things that you? Because I also know, I don't know. I mean, I think you're pretty hardcore doing this, but you actually lived in your trailer just to get it to work financially. So what were the activities that you did apart from the whole competition that was like really? I'm definitely coming back, even if I have to travel freaking 4,000 kilometers and sleep in my trailer to do it.
Yeah, we looked at the NLS on both Friday and Saturday. It's really cool, as you said before, that you can visit the pit boxes under the ongoing races. It's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
then
that and the Ring Boulevard with a lot of cool cars displayed.
yeah, and then how was the atmosphere like when it comes to, because you've been racing in Scandinavia and Sweden for a while, and you've been a top driver, and yeah, now you obviously know a lot of people. How was the camaraderie between the drivers? You also have a quite well known in Yaris GR circles car. So did you bump into people that you knew, or were you making new friends? How was that experience?
Yeah, I think it's when it's your first time, you maybe I don't talk to so many people, so I was so concentrated about learning the track and so on. But the atmosphere was really great. I felt it was really great.
So let's talk a bit about your competition there, because you had some really tough. I think there was a bunch of Evos that you competed mostly against. Some very high-powered Evos. Am I right?
Yeah. Both the winner and the second place was Evos, I think, with about 500 horsepower. So I did my best to drive as fast as them, and I almost did it. But next time, I think more laps at the track.
But you were fighting quite hard, and then in the end, you were able to at least take a bite of the podium and get third place. So how was the super laps for you?
It went pretty well, but as Alex said before, the oil spill was a bit. I saw it on the outlap, but you really felt it on the super lap. So we had to brake for the inside instead of on where you usually brakes. So it took some time off, but I felt I drove faster and faster for every lap. So one more day to train. I think I have come closer to them.
Yeah, and like Florian started the broadcast with, it's like once you get into this addiction, you'll always find new ways to continue and to like set new goals. You have any general advice? Because I mean, you've been doing this for I think 5 years now, and you've been really hardcore in always raising the bar and setting these goals. What's your strategy, Andrea?
The strategy is I don't really know. Just to the just to wanting to go faster, I think, and aim higher for every lap. I think. I don't really know.
Yeah, maybe it's just something you do by instinct, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. I mean, you did a long trip, and it's like the championship. I know you hustle and bustle like many drivers, privateers do. Anyone you like to thank before we thank you for this great bronze medal, European bronze medal on your first trip down here?
Yeah, of course, all my partners and sponsors, but first and foremost, Helmut Eder. I think he deserves a big applause. I think it's helping us a lot. But I think rest of the sponsors, it's a few, so I don't mention anyone, so I forget someone.
So where can they find your social media? Because you keep updating, and you can make a case that you are one of maybe the fastest track Yaris GR in time attack in Europe, right?
Maybe something like that, I think.
And if anyone wants to dispute that fact, maybe they can face you next year in Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going next year for sure. And it's most on Instagram. I post stuff, so it's Gunsmoke Motorsport on Instagram.
Gunsmoke, which is Krutrök. Gunsmoke Motorsports. Andrea, congratulations to the bronze medal in European Time Attack Club 4-wheel drive, and we'll see each other soon.
We see each other soon. Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So it's Andrea is a great story. I feel that you can come a long way, especially if you have a very supporting wife and also a very cute and supportive dog. So you can see in his social media, they're a great team, and we're very happy to have them. And hopefully we'll see them to maybe make more history in Scandinavia as well, to defend their title 3 years in a row. I don't even know if anyone has done that in any class, actually. So that would be like mega. There you have his channel, so check it out. Good example of someone who keeps it going in social media, which is a must. Moving on with another guest here, we have another, and this is like, I hate to throw the word history around, but we had for the first time a EV class at European time attack level. So we'd like to give a really big special thanks to Kirsi Immonen and Perttu Immonen for helping us promote this class in Scandinavia, and then that we were able to bring it down to Germany. It was a little experiment, but we had a solid lineup of cars. And without further ado, the first ever European EV champ is Pertti Peski.
Hello.
Welcome aboard, Pertti. You've had a real roller coaster of a season, and it seems like, just like Revline, you end up on top here. So tell us a bit about you've been racing a full season in Scandinavia, and then you go down to Germany. Can we hear your story a bit?
Yes, first of all, I have to say, hearing about Gustav and Alex and the decade of putting the car together and improving it is quite different from what I do. I just pack up my camper van and wash it and go to the track, basically. So it's more of a hobby than a real racing career. But yes,
sorry to interrupt you, but what's magical is that it doesn't matter if you're in Club Go, EV, or if you are a giant in the sense, and you have spent a few more zeros on your car. I mean, we all use the same drug here, and adrenaline, right?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, about the season. Well, I still like the Shinakula track, despite what happened. And I had a big crash there, and my back is still aching a bit. It's quite okay. And
yeah, we're happy to hear it went relatively well. It was you went off the track quite hard there.
Yeah. And that's why I couldn't come to Mantorp. But Gelleråsen was a nice track too. And it was interesting to go to Germany. I actually haven't even seen the GP track before, so this was my first time there. It was quite a day.
Did you study it before on YouTube clips or sim racing or anything?
Yeah. I did watch some YouTube clips, and me and my teammate Tia, we both had a 10-minute practice on a simulator on the Saturday evening at the cafe.
At the race room cafe. Oh, so that's why you were there. And
yeah,
okay. Well, that's better late than never, right? So I mean, it seems like to like keep the story short, because it was a nice battle. You had a very, very let's call it, extensively modified Tesla, especially, that everyone looked at and they're like, oh, well, there goes that title. And there you have your car, which is like from the outside relatively stock. Tell us a bit about the
Yes.
Tesla.
Yes. The only area thing I have is the rear spoiler, and it helps a lot going through the fast corners. It usually is a bit of oversteering and then understeering, but that helps. So it's only understeering. It's much more predictable to drive now. And the suspension has been remade. I like it now. It's busy racing, quite a cheap one, but I like how it works and I like how the car goes. I can trust the car, so it's easy to drive. It's actually, in this version, it's the fastest and easiest to drive than ever.
So just to keep people interested in this, how much have you done to the brakes and stuff to make it like work on the track? What's the brake and tire setup of this?
Brakes are quite easy on Tesla Model 3. The calipers are stock. I've only changed the pads, discs, and fluids. That's it. And
what rubber do you use? You have aftermarket wheels, right?
On practice and wet conditions, I use Continental Sport Contact 7s. But on race, I did use the Extreme semi-slick tires.
Okay, a new brand.
Yeah, it's an 18-inch wheel, 285 width, and I managed to get quite light wheels, so it's quite agile on the corners despite the heavy weight of the car.
Yeah, well, that's something that the EVs have against them. It's the weight, obviously. But again, is it still a really nice experience? Do you feel like you're really feeling the limits of the car and as a feedback as a driver? Because you've been doing track days for a long time in EVs also. So maybe you can give those who have like a, let's call it, old timey attitude that EVs can't be run on the track. What would you say to those people?
It's quite well balanced. The battery is a big weight and it's underneath and in the middle. So yes, it's easy to control on the corners. And I've driven some more powerful four-wheel drive cars with big engines, and they usually have the weight on the front and they are much more difficult to drive. I like this a lot.
So you're saying it's a Tesla Model, sorry, Y?
3.
Sorry, yeah, getting tired here. And it seems like there is several others also, and the S is also, of course. There you have it, your nemesis.
Yes.
That in the end, even though you were trailing him in the qualifying, you beat him in the super laps. So tell me how that went down.
Well, yet again, I managed to put my best lap on the super lap, and
he didn't, obviously.
There was a gravel on the corner 9, and we both were sliding a bit because of that, but I think he was sliding a bit more than me. Yeah, I think that was the real reason.
Yeah, it would be nice to see a similar battle. And again, I mean, these lap times are not something to be ashamed of. You were trailing some of the club classes by only a few seconds, which is like really good lap times. So seeing how EV racing EV time attack has been done for, well, at least in Scandinavia, barely a year, I feel like there's a lot of promise for the future. How do you feel about next year?
Yes, this is just beginning. So there's so much we can do. We just scratched the surface yet. I hope I'm getting more people interested in track driving with EVs, because there's a lot of potential on them.
Yeah, it seems like it. And I would like to just bring up some comments here because you have a little bit of a fan club here in the chat, I can see. Pertti the legend. This is one of the rescue guys, Stefan, who is giving you the shout out. Then we also have Fritte. Will we see King Pertti in Swedish Time Attack again next year?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, now that you're a European champion, then for sure we want to see you in Scandinavia as well. Because you know what? We have a revelation here, and you know very well about it, that next year, I'm not sure if David has it ready, but we are moving on to have 2 EV classes in Scandinavian Time Attack. One which will be called EV Go, which will be the entry class, of course, very similar to the entry class in normal combustion engine Time Attack, with pretty much stock cars and stricter power rules. So guys like, well, you have a car that doesn't qualify for it, but Oskar Grön, for example, the Taycan, definitely doesn't qualify for it. So that is a draft for the Go class, like a beginner class for everyone with EVs. We've even had some inspiration from in Japan. They do some EV racing on club level. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be fun. You can modify very little and just push the car for what it's capable at and still have a great time and see how you as a driver compare to other drivers. And the other class is going to be EV Street. Now, this is where we're back to, we're going to follow a bit of the Pro Street class, if you've kept a look on that, Pertti, to keep aerodynamics and other stuff comparable to the combustion engine supercar class. So, yeah, you're going to have your hands busy next year. And, thanks a lot for being a pioneer in all this and actually for overcoming a lot of setbacks this year and ending up... Do you have the trophy somewhere? You need to have some trophies shown here.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a small trophy either, I see.
No, it's not small. Yeah.
Very nice. Pertti, you want to thank someone before we move on to the next guest?
Well, yes, of course. My sponsors, first of all, Vempele.fi for helping me build the suspension and chassis, and Continental for excellent tires. And of course, our team. We do a lot with our team and discuss a lot about improvements. And nowadays, now we have talked about rules, and we do work as a team. It's very nice.
Yeah, you're talking about Battery Racing Team, which is like,
Yes.
I would say, the first real official EV Time Attack racing team. So we hope more teams show up and want to actually challenge you and make friends with you, because that's like Gustav said already about even the fiercest rivalry in Time Attack. We have garages next to each other, give each other data, and then of course on the track you want to beat the hell out of each other, but off the track we're buddies and even barbecue together. So Pertti, thank you so much. Let's keep in touch for next year. Oh, we will see you on the 15th. We're going to talk more about that event. Will you come to Sweden and have the award ceremony?
I haven't decided yet. It's a bit of a money issue because it will cost a lot of money to come over there.
Yeah, traveling and stuff.
Yeah, and come back. But I will try. I will try to make it.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have one more guest for tonight before we conclude the European Time Attack and start to round off the episode. We're going to browse through the last 2 topics before the evening becoming too late. Now, this is someone who has been, I've known this guy for quite some time, and he's always been a character. He's always been like, I speak my mind, and then, whatever you feel about it, that's your win or loss. He's been involved in doing some really, really quick driving in drag racing back in the day when that was the main thing in Sweden. And now he's been doing Time Attack. He used to have a BMW let's get the numbers right, E90, E92. But now he decided to do something totally crazy. So we're going to let him tell the story about his not so normal BMW M4. So welcome aboard tonight, the champion of the Super Lights class in European Time Attack, Karel Silla.
Hello.
Hello. Ooh, that's loud.
Yeah, should I make it less loud?
Yeah, you you're gonna force your opinions on us by having a really high volume, right?
Of course, I mean, if you are loud and clear, then it gets stuck better. So I think that's the idea.
Yeah. So, but again, I think we both have some Eastern European heritage, and we love to talk. We love to be open-minded and a bit of a pain in the ass. Is that fine to say?
Yeah. I mean, if the people can't hear you, then you don't exist. That's kind of my motto here. So I think that you need to be loud and spoken, or at least, I mean, for me, many times with the car has been that, giving setting goals is like I always set ambitious goals for whatever I do. And that's like in Swedish country lagom, then it's it's not that normal to do. So I think that many times maybe you will be seen as cocky and maybe arrogant, but I mean, for me, it's setting goals and then trying to hunt those goals. It's just for me. It's not for anyone else. So that's what I'm doing here, basically. So.
Yeah, I think that's always a touchy subject. I think Europeans as well are a bit more reserved than maybe Americans who like celebrate success, and they're like, oh, well, the default is that you're gonna go get it, boy, right? Capitalism. I think we're a bit more reserved in Europe and especially in Scandinavia. So it's nice to see that, and we're getting some pictures. So I want us to give you like the short version of how this crazy M4 build came about, because I know you told it so many times, but we've never actually met you. We had you this year, and we were very, very pleased to see that you used Scandinavian Time Attack as your platform to develop the car a bit this year. So tell us a bit about this. It looks like a DTM car from hell or something.
Yeah, I mean, so what we did was actually in the beginning we scanned a toy car. So one of these mini champs 18 scale models that you can buy at Nürburgring 24-hour race. You can buy the M4 GT3, or kind of all of the models. That small DTM model of I think like Augusto Farfus 2000 something model was scanned. And then enlarged, and then basically milled out in styrofoam. Aero package was redone, so we did something like 800 hours together with Verse Engineering in US of simulating the aero. So a lot of time attack cars, like even if you look at, I would say the R8 or the Porsche, like they depend on a big wing and a lot of top aero. Basically, there is some bottom aero, but it's not that magical in my opinion. On our car, it's the floor. Like if you lift the car, it's like a Formula 1 car. You don't see anything under there, just tunnels and kind of rakes of the floor. And that's kind of majority, I would say, like, I don't know, probably 60-something% comes from the floor of the downforce. So like when we did the German Time Attack, the rear wing was at 0 degrees in the rear. And also the front flaps that we have, they were at also minimum angle. So we were kind of just riding on the aero from the floor, mostly of it. And then also we did some correlation in a wind tunnel in Indianapolis. So we actually did a couple of parts in real life as well to see that how accurate is the software versus the reality. And it was actually like 1% difference where the software was actually kind of generous. So it was actually giving more drag than it actually was creating in the tunnel. So that's kind of how we did it. And then it's been, I think, a constant development, or I wouldn't say development. Development hasn't even started yet, to be honest.
Did you feel at home with Gustav's analogy on how life becomes basically your time attack car?
I mean, yeah, but this has also been kind of for me for the last 15 years with all of the cars. Like even when I did like the first ever E30 that I wanted to hoon around the local sausage stand, in the middle of the night, to then doing the drag racing and then coming with the E90 M3 to do the track racing. Like that's been for me. I had a couple of relationships, but they kind of disappear quite quickly when they see how much I'm dedicated to this. So. But yeah, I mean, Gustav is I think is right on that. It's kind of when you're dedicated to something, you can do it half-ass or you do it 100%. And when you do it 100%, there is not a room for other things in the end. So I think it's correct explanation.
Well, one observation I've made with your car, which also goes in line with several others, but even more extreme levels in your case, is that you do a lot of the things yourself with this build, right?
Yeah, of course we had some help with the kind of doing the tube frame in for the car. I could do it myself, but then I didn't have the flat table and the jig table to kind of make everything flat. So for that, I got some help. Also the carbon parts, I would need to buy a lot of stuff to get it done. So in the end, it was not just cash over this to get the stuff. It was more of a trade, so I had to put a bunch of hours in to do other things to actually get the parts. So it was more like a trade. But there's been a lot of companies helping on this. I mean, if I would tell that if it's, yes, it's a solo project with me and Kalle has been driving most of it, but it's not been by any means like, oh, I did it by myself. It's a lot of companies that was part of this, because it wouldn't be possible.
No. That's like, we're not like a black and white argument about that, but you are the basic mind and it's all your ideas that start all the processes. When of course you get great partners aboard, that's like obvious.
Yeah, exactly. And it is like that. It's also for, like, when we did the arrow, even though Verus Engineering did the arrow, I was there pointing my finger on things, even though I didn't understand it. Then I kind of, went back and I said, okay, I need to read into this. And then I kind of started understanding. I said, okay, why don't we do it like that? I would rather have it like this and that. So I think that the kind of the last call on things in the end, it is on me for sure. Because I wouldn't, even if it wouldn't be, then I would probably end up cutting it away and rebuilding it, because I wanted to do it in my way. So, and I think that's been the whole thing with this project. It's been that I want to do it in my way. And of course I want help with good team members and also friends and partners, but then I also want to drive it. Like, I don't, of course I can put a pro driver. I have actually a pro driver down my sleeve that is waiting to drive.
Who is that? Giving it a name?
That's a Finnish gentleman whose name is Jesse Kroon. And he's like, I actually met him, I think like 3 years ago at Nürburgring, where we displayed the car during the 24-hour race. And this is also the first time I actually met Marco and the team from Time Attack. And he actually, I met him and I met Augusto Farfus and a couple other the pro drivers. And all of them knew about the car because they have seen it on social media. And then I said, stop by and look at the car. And then Jesse actually came. And then he kind of was sitting in the car, and then we started to talk about it. And I was like, you know what? It would be, because he has been a pro driver for BMW Works team for, 10 plus years. So it would be a quite easy transition, even though it's a BMW.
Can we get your opinion on this whole, as you said, you have two options. You could drive it, you want to drive it, but you have Jesse, who you want to put in there. What's your take on that debate?
In the end, I believe that the route to going really quick is going to be much shorter with Jesse, because if we do a weekend with him, like, to be honest, if we had him in the car in Germany, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but I'm pretty sure we would do the fastest time, because I've seen the data that we did. And to bear in mind also, we did only 600 something horsepower during that event. We didn't do any crazy 700, 1200 or whatever. We did like 640 horsepower. So I think with that and the data that I have looked at, I mean, I already have something like 141 time from the 5 laps that I did on Nürburgring. I have like 141 there already. But I think that with Jesse, who has more knowledge about the track, he would probably chop off, another 3-4 seconds of that. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, well, he's obviously very familiar with the track, so that does help.
I mean, he won the 24-hour race this year. So
are we getting an onboard lap with full sound? Are we gonna give it to that? Yeah, let's do that, right? Or are we getting This
is the close call. This nice traffic situation on Nürburgring. So
are you actually getting out to another Swede here?
No, I don't. I think it's an Italian guy.
Oh, another Italian.
Yeah, this lap was actually, so I think like the personal best during the weekend was like 1:43.8. Down to breaking up on his back here, I had like 2 seconds up on the 1:43.8. So every lap, I think we did like 5 push laps, and every push lap I did, I chopped off like a second or even more. So it is. I mean, there's a potential in the car, and I think that can it be the outright fastest? Of course, it's going to be. I wouldn't commit to this as so much as I'm doing if it wouldn't be. So, but then, yeah, we'll see. We have to get there.
Yeah, well, can we get a full lap on so we get the full experience of this insane M4 DTM project? Let's do it, David.
Do you want commentary about all the mistakes that I did?
Well, just listen.
Shitty lap, so we don't need to speak about that.
But yeah, it's still nice to get the experience, and that was on only 600 horsepower, which for an extreme car, as we know, the R8 is pushing 1400 horsepower, or 1200, sorry, maybe.
I think they did 1400 on the wheels. I think when I talked to Mikael, they said that they did all of it, so they had a lot. So yeah, I mean, you can see it on the back straight. I think we're hitting like 250 something, 55. They have 300. So it is quite a difference. So, but
this is your first year, and I mean, you developed the car for a long time, so it's still your first year. So you're like you're still basically you've not even come out of the cocoon, so to speak, right?
No, and I think that also like previous year, last year, I wouldn't say it was so much development. For me, development is actually when you go from shit to better. That's kind of development. But when something is broken, then it's beyond shit. It's not even at shit level yet, to be honest. So I think that last year was like fixing it. We went to the track, something got broken, we had to fix it, and then we came back, fix it. So it was like just fixing stuff all the time. And at this point, I would probably have been better off buying finished components like uprights and kind of those things from a G3 car, but I wanted to develop stuff by myself. So I think the stubbornness kind of bite me in the ass in the end. So
depends. But yeah. We haven't seen the end of the story yet, and I mean Burström has been doing it for over 10 years, and now he got a gold medal. So it seems like you shouldn't be too worried about the long-term future.
No, and I think that also, I think there's a lot of discussions, people expecting this and this and that. And maybe I have myself to blame for that because I am hyping the car, but I'm hyping it because I know what the potential will be. But this event that we did in Germany now was literally the 4th weekend that we actually could drive the car. It's not been any weekends before that where we can actually do 5 laps in a row. So it was kind of, I talked even with Tommy Gråberg, who, I said, should I go to Germany? He said, maybe you should develop more before you go. And then I was like, screw it, we're going.
Okay.
So
reverse psychology.
Exactly. So he was actually surprised that I was there. And then he came by. After like the first or second training, I think, like something like that. And he asked me like, okay, what time did you did? And I said, I'm at 1:43 now. He was like, oh wow. So okay. So I think he was quite surprised. So that's fun because Tommy, we know each other and like him quite a lot. So I think it was a nice response from him.
Yeah, but you have a lot of fans and followers, and we're getting a nice comment here, which kind of sets the stage for another discussion here. So we have Super Schnabulator. I mean, that would be my dream European Time Attack final for Superlights. Karel's M4 DTM versus the Gobstopper by Roger Clark Motorsports from the UK. and then Viborg engineering's different cars. So we're talking silhouettes here. What do you feel about that competition, first of all?
I mean, yeah, I think that in the end, I think the setup that is in Sweden, in my opinion, is better. It's also very similar setup that is in World Time Attack. I talked with Ian, I think yesterday, and I asked him, hey, can I compete with the car? He said, yeah, you can come now. So it is, I mean, to be honest, maybe there is more potential for silhouettes, but in the end, I think that the car is an extreme unlimited car. So it should, in my opinion, run in that class. If I would have run in that class, I would have been P3.
So let's slow it down a bit here. Your car was built in your own way in your construction from I think it's a steel. Is it steel or aluminum tubing?
Steel tubes.
Yeah, of course. And it's the same topic that has been around for ages, where, okay, is it a real car or not? And that's where I would like to hear your opinions. And you sent us actually some food for thought images of a top-level World Time Attack car. So can we get that? This is actually tell us more about what we're looking at.
This is Rob's RP968, the quickest car in World Time Attack, and it's been running in that class for ages, right? So it's been this has been a class without tube frame chassis. But to be honest, if you look at this, there's almost any metal left on it that is resemblance of a normal car. So
isn't the rule book says that it has to have the firewall and A pillars left and maybe the front towers, or am I?
Yeah, I think so, but I mean, I'm not gonna throw Gustav under the bus, but maybe. But I mean, he has the front towers left on his Porsche Revline, but the pickup points for the suspension, the dampers, isn't actually in the towers itself. I mean,
and just to make clear, this is the RP. This is the Australian car, which is
I think this one is Gustav's car. This is Revline.
Okay.
So the first pictures was RP, and this is Revline. And I think here also it's, I mean, yes, it has the firewall. How much of it is still original? You know, I'm not gonna. It's in the end, we are all friends. I'm not gonna be here to bash on anything.
No, but it's nice to have a food for thought discussion. And if anyone's gonna be upset, then by all means, just let's talk about it a bit.
Yeah. In the end, for me, if I were to be in another situation, it would just give me fuel to fight more, right? Because I think that the car is built for a class in Sweden that is what it is, and I think that it is. I mean, I could technically, in my case here, I could technically.
And this is the RP, right? Or this is your car? Your car, yeah. Oh, cool. That's good.
So in this case, I could technically bolt a M4 bottom sheet melted to it, and then put a M4 front firewall to it, but. You know, in the end, does it give that much benefit to have this versus the steel frames? Because in the end, you're gonna stiffen up things with pipes in a car anyway. So, you know, in the end, I don't think it's that big difference in the cars between, because it's not. If this would be built around a carbon monocoque like the Class 1 DTMs were back in the days, then yes, that's a different topic. But here in the end, it's rather than having some sheet metal, we have some pipes there, which technically, of course, are more rigid. But most of the Time Attack cars do add more pipes to them. So I think the rigidness would be quite similar in the end. So,
but it's a nice discussion to have, because we have Roger Clark in the UK, we have the Viborg Evo, so to speak. So it's nice to hear, like, this is, for me, it's always been, I think, when we discussed about Autogruppen's amazing Evo build, that car does have a lot of its factory structure remaining. So I do think there is a good point to be made of that, and how that's like, well, maybe it's like a subjective thing, but that's more of a real car, while an extreme Time Attack car, maybe does it really matter or not? It would be interesting to hear some different opinions on that. And maybe even talk to Mr. World Time Attack himself, because he's promised to be a guest here. So this is like a good start. That okay, in Sweden we have unlimited, where silhouettes are allowed. They just need to have a really shape of an original car and passenger and whatever. They're not like a disguised formula car. And then in European Time Attack we have a difference, where you have the super lights class, which you smashed the competition. because it's mostly for these, what are they called? These small little...
I'm not sure if there are radicals or anything smaller, but I mean they're super difficult to see in the rearview mirror, so to speak. So I was at some points I was hoping that I won't drive over them, but yeah, it was.
Well, you won the class and you smashed them, and
Yeah.
that would be nice to see. That either we have an unlimited class to see more, and then everyone competes in it, like in Sweden, and you have a pro modified class, and then to actually distinguish what is the world time attack class these days. Because if you claim that silhouettes can run world time attack, then that's also an interesting topic to have, I think. Let's see, we have a comment here. So this might be another VODCAST, actually. Gustav Burström, or Alex, sorry, there is nothing... Okay, Gustav, I have a lot to say about the tube frame benefits compared to original world time attack rules cars, but then we need a discussion, not a one-sided version. Nice. Then it seems like we might have a debate about this another day. And then, Alex, there is nothing lagom. There's nothing just enough about Carl's M4, and that's a lot of love, I would say. I agree with that statement.
I mean, I didn't... In the end, I'm not sure. Like, if you were to buy everything off the desk and kind of just put it together like IKEA, then I guess you wouldn't care. But in the end, I think Gustav can also relate to it. It's kind of your engineering baby that you kind of want to get to a certain stage. So for me, to doing them, I mean, I did a couple of cars before, and all of them was kind of compromises of, daily driven, track driven, drag race. Here I said, okay, you know what, all of the functionality is going to come down to the track use. So
now we have the Roger Clark Motorsports Impreza silhouette, which has been on what is the goddamn event in England called?
Goodwood.
Goodwood,
I actually was at Goodwood together with Peter Pentel. And this is the first time actually. So we were parked beside Ollie and Matt. This is actually Matt on the picture who builds the cars. He's a genius, to be honest.
Well,
and
excellent.
We were parked beside them during Goodwood events. So I got to know him. So I actually talk with Matt nowadays. So I can actually see maybe if they would be interesting to come next year.
It seems like we can park the discussion here and just ask you, what do you feel about time attack in general in Europe? It feels like the event here at the Nürburgring has been growing, but it also feels like even time attack cars getting invited, and even Koenigsegg building like time attack versions. I would say it's really good signs.
Yeah, I think the event was really good. For us, it was super stressful. And I have also from this year, I have two new mechanics, Robin and Martin, who are like, I couldn't be happier, because before they came to join the team, I was kind of on the edge to put this on pause. Because I have been working my ass off for the last 5 years, but then they came in, so I had actually to kind of put the next gear in and keep on pushing, and they have completely, take it to the next step. So I'm super happy that they are on board. But for the event, for us, it was quite stressful. So I think from Thursday lunch or from Thursday morning to Sunday morning, I had like 5 hours of sleep. And then I also was driving, the car and trailer to Germany, and then driving on the track, and then driving back home. Literally, we loaded at 9 in the evening on Sunday, and then we started to drive to the ferry straight away during the night. So I think that on Monday morning, I had probably just, I don't know, below 7 hours of sleep. So I was quite destroyed. So I think for next year, we're going to try to take more time, and I think also there's a nice track day the next day on Spa that we will probably attend next year. But the event itself was good. It's super stressful for 1 day running. So if Florian and Marco actually can manage to do some, practice maybe
test
on Friday,
sessions,
test sessions on Friday or Saturday, that would be really good. Because for me, the biggest issue was that I see there's more potential in the car, and I think we could have done, below. I think we could have done a 1:38 lap time if we just had more time. But in the end, I got like 5 push laps on a track that I've never driven before. And I mean, Sami has been there, Alex has been there quite a lot. So it's been, it was difficult, to be honest. So even though I did beat Alex in iRacing a couple of days before, it didn't matter much, right? So
that was a low blow.
No, but he can take it. It's okay.
Yeah, well, Karel, I know you're in a good way and not a hysterical way, emotional, passionate guy. So we're very happy you came there and that you destroyed everyone in Superlights. And if that class becomes something called Unlimited or whatever, then it seems like there are other names that you can race with. But there's always the fastest lap time of the day, and that's like where everyone can pick their. Don't have to say that sushi is the best. No, Italian's the best. I mean, as long as we have different builds and passionate people, then this scene is just going to keep growing.
Yeah. And I think that the sport that we are competing in is against the lap time. So I think that it's hat off for Alex and the Porsche with Gustav that they did the quickest lap time. I think that in the end, from me, for next year, it would be to compete against that. And if someone is there even with a quicker lap time, then that's what I'm competing about. I think that for me, even though it was nice to win in the Superlights, I must admit that the competition was not so strong there. So I think that, yes, the trophy is here, but how much does the trophy in the end mean for me? For me, I'm happy that the car works, and I brought a car home that actually functioning, but I'm not satisfied with basically nothing from that weekend or this year, because
you
we
sound
didn't
like
break
you sound like a car builder, 100% car builder now. I gave Alex shit for sounding like a driver, and now you sound like a car builder. You're never happy. Well, Karel, I'm going to have to cut you off. It sounds like we have some interesting debates to have here during the off season. So there's a long, silly season, and I'd love to have these discussions. Maybe we'll actually get Mr. World Time Attack involved in that. So Ian, if you see this, we always looked up to you and would love to hear your input on even this detail. So Karel, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll 100% see each other soon again.
We sure do. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So guys, the schedule, it's really moving quickly here. So we're just going to round up really quickly here because we have to end here by 10. Some really interesting discussions here, and nice to see everyone here contributing with their different perspectives on a very successful European time attack. So we're signing off on that one. But when it comes to Scandinavia, we are very proud to say that, and we're going to have to save that for another episode. And maybe that's for the better for our international viewers. I mean, thank you so much for following us. So we maybe keep it short on what's going on here in Scandinavia. Maybe you will hear something interesting on how we do it with rules. We decided to actually cut down on a lot of our rules and remove a lot of details which have noticed is kind of excessive and don't really determine the performance of the car as much as some other rules. So we do a lot of weight to power for our rules. And here you have a classic example. This is our entry-level class. It's called Club Go. So the red outlined text is something that's going to disappear for next year. So it's quite a lot of text, which is going to make everything easier to read and more smooth and easier for people to just jump in, see a rule book, know which class to do, and not feel like they have to study in some goddamn library to join here. The yellow things are some things we're still having under discussion. And then there's the classic safety issues here. So, we've been really hard at work here. Every year we develop our rules and we feel that we have world-class rules and proud about them. And we also have a new class. It seems like there is a work in progress color for it. It's called Club RS, which is like the maxi version of Club. So we're developing that our street level segment, our entry level segment, is going to be 3 classes in that one segment. And Club RS is the, top class in that trio, just beneath the challenge class, which Andrei Krutrak won with the Yaris. So you will have it just beneath that. So great spot if you have a less tuned Yaris or more track day oriented cars, but maybe not the high power that you have in the challenge class. So that's something that we look forward to presenting more. About next year, we can tell you right away, we have the dates set almost 100%. We are already done with the dates for our premiere race on Ring, the very technical track, the Sukuba circuit of Sweden. We're doing it in the last weekend of May, guys. So last weekend of May is where Scandinavian Time Attack officially starts as a championship on Ring. Great date, great we'll have time to prepare, and we'll see if there is a King of Finland to be had just before that for those hardcore guys wanting to go to Finland and visit Alastaro. That is work in progress. But you know that the Scandinavian Time Attack Championship officially starts in the last weekend of May. I believe it's the 29th, 31st of May. So X that calendar date, so you know that's where you're gonna start to go sub-minute laps on Kinnekulle, hopefully. Our next date, that is our the classic King of Mantorp weekend. It is the weekend after Midsummer. I need the dates somehow feed it to me, but it's the weekend after Midsummer. It's the last holiday weekend of June. So that's what we do on Mantorp Park. It's the first day to Saturday, and the Saturday is the King of Mantorp event, which like brings the top level cars of Northern Europe to Mantorp. Great battle there this year, which the Audi R8 finally kicked ass and did a sub 110 lap, just stealing the show basically. Great entertainment for everyone to be part of that. We've even had Under Suzuki there as a guest driver coming all the way from Japan, and many guests through the years. Maybe we'll see some Germans. You German guys listening, Mantorp Park is the track you need to have a reference time on in Sweden, so you're more than welcome coming to join us. And then in the end, we'll have Gelleråsen Arena, very technical track, entirely flat, very easy to see from the pit area, the whole layout. Great arena in itself also. We have that in probably the last weekend of August. So a very good rhythm through the summer to do it, these 3 races, and then be done with it. There might be a 4th race, but we'll see if it's something in September or not. But we're doing our 3 main tracks next year like we've always done, and we booked them at really great dates. So yeah, look forward to releasing our packages. And speaking of that, let's go to the webpage and see that we released the sign up to join and maybe run some go-karts with us, maybe join and listen to some of the news for next season, and just to meet some wonderful people, and also to in the evening celebrate and just if that's your thing, to get drunk and have fun, then you're more than welcome to join us and do that. Or you just want to hang around, talk some cars, talk some shit, and just hug people a bit before going on the winter break, which we'll have activities on for sure digitally, keep the VODCAST going. But yeah, go to timeattack.se/galamiddag, sorry, that's Swedish, to sign up and see if you want to do go-karts or just join us for the dinner. And then we'll also have a presentation in the afternoon. And this is going to be on Sweden's biggest indoor karting hall, Racehall, which is just outside of Södertälje, which is south of Stockholm. So check that out, guys. We'll tell you more about that if you are in our community at WhatsApp, or if you just follow us here on our social media. We'll be happy to keep you updated. I think that's it, David. We almost made it. We're 2 minutes over, but wanted to finish this by 10. Thank you so much, everyone commenting, all Germans also and international visitors. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. I was so honored to be on the track and talk to so many of you. I mean, it's a small thing we're going here, but I really think timeattack.tv and the YouTube channel can grow in the future. And as long as you're here to keep us company during these evenings, we have something going. And we have some really great ambassadors and car builders in each of our countries, and look forward to meeting more of them. So yeah, I think that will be it. Have a nice evening, guys. Bye-bye.